Okay, so I've exaggerated a little bit recently about how little I know about some of the Democratic primary candidates in 2020, including John Hickenlooper. But really, I do think that he's one of the list that people do need to know a little bit better. And so we're going to delve into his record, how the primary might play out for him. And joining us to do that is federal politics reporter for the Center for Public Integrity, Sarah Kleiner. Welcome back to the show.
Hi, thank you so much.
Good to have you here and to reveal Hickenlooper and how this whole thing might go for him. So first of all, for some who might not be familiar with him and what he brings to this primary, what are some of the important facts that they need to know about him in advance of it?
Sure. Okay. So John Hickenlooper was born outside Philadelphia. He eventually moved to Colorado for the oil and gas business. He had a degree in geology. He was laid off in the mid-1980s and started a brewery, and he was kind of on the forefront of that scene. Breweries are everywhere nowadays, but back then that wasn't the case. So he started a brewery in a part of Denver that was kind of run down and dilapidated. And then he and his business partners expanded, and they eventually grew to have 15 brew pubs and restaurants around the Midwest. So he got involved in politics. He ran for Denver mayor in 2003 and won. He ran for re-election in 2007 and got 87% of the vote there in Denver. While he was mayor, they expanded pre-K to every 4-year-old in Denver. He was persuaded to run for governor, and he did that in 2011 and won. And governor of Colorado. And then he ran for re-election in 2015, and he won that as well. He had, at the time, as a Democrat, he had a Republican legislature for most of his tenure as governor. So he touts his ability to work across the aisle and still pass progressive measures as something that voters should know about him. They passed some gun regulations, background checks, and a ban on high-capacity magazines while he was in office. One thing that some critics of John Hickenlooper point out is his relationship with the oil and gas industry, particularly when it comes to fracking. Fracking is bringing natural gas up out of the ground. It's hydraulic fracturing, and you pump chemicals down into the ground, and it brings natural gas up. And so environmentalists are particularly concerned about this particular aspect of his past.
So I'm curious. I read a recent article about him that speculated that everybody is thinking, who we need against Trump on the debate stage and in the campaign is someone who's going to punch him as hard as he punches them. But he has this reputation, Hickenlooper, of being like the nice guy politician. And you say he's known for working across the aisle. He comes across as a very nice guy. Do you think that might be an alternative way to deal with Trump, like having someone who clearly is a much better person in some way?
So Hickenlooper has said that, in fact, in his campaign launch video, he brought up the fact that he used to wear Coke bottle glasses and he had a funny last name, and he's used to standing up to bullies. And so he's trying to paint himself as someone who can actually stand up to Trump. Now, he is not as acerbic as some candidates who say, for instance, Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, who call out Trump on Twitter. So he doesn't come across as forcefully as some of his rivals in this race.
So in addition to, you brought up the past support for fracking, which I feel like is going to be a negative in this primary, I think justifiably so. He's also facing an inquiry with the Colorado Independent Ethics Commission on an accusation that he accepted trips and didn't disclose them as gifts being given to him. What do you make of that?
Sure. So apparently he took some trips while governor to Italy and some other trips and didn't disclose them. This is according to a Republican who filed a complaint against him. And Hickenlooper has basically dismissed this and said that it's politics. It's a Republican is targeting him. So we have to wait and see how that's going to shake out and how that might affect him down the road.
So I'm curious, you did all this research for your write-up, which our audience should definitely go look and learn much more about Hickenlooper. What do you see as the biggest challenge that he might face on the debate stage when being contrasted with what is likely to be well over a dozen other candidates?
So Hickenlooper is really starting from the starting line. And others are way out in front of him in terms of fundraising, in terms of name recognition. So he's got a long road to go when it comes to raising money. His Giddy Up PAC raised about $600,000 between September and December. And so he's really starting from behind. Candidates like Elizabeth Warren already have, in the tens of millions of dollars stockpile ready to go to spend on advertising to get their names out there. And also Hickenlooper really, is going to have a challenge when it comes to getting his name out there. He does have this knack for political ads that are quirky, that kind of play off of his quirky personality. He took a shower in a business suit once. And so he does have a way of maybe creating these viral ads. So that could be one thing that he uses to his advantage. But I would say definitely money and name recognition are going to be his biggest challenges.
Okay, well, look, now I've got some homework. I'm going to have to look up some of these ads, so thank you for that. I get to see him shower soon. Sarah Kleiner, the Center for Public Integrity, thank you, as always, for joining the show.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you very much for watching this clip from The Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.